You are listening to the Retina UK Talking Tech Peer Support Group meeting recorded Thursday, the 7th of November 2024.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to tonight's Talking Tech Peer Support Group meeting for Retina UK. I'm Mark Baxter, Information Support Coordinator, and my colleague to the right of me is Caroline, who's going to be supporting on the comms. So if you do have any questions or queries, websites, links, or anything that you'd like to share, please feel free to use the comments box. As we will use this information and share it with the group in the follow-up email, which will go out next week along with the audio recording link once we've uploaded it to our YouTube channel. So this evening, I'm going to give a brief roundup of the QAC, the Queen Alexandra College site village that was at Kensington in London on Tuesday. We were fortunate there to have our own stand at Retina UK, so thank you to everybody that has joined us this evening that did pop over to our table to say hello and grab some information about what we do. And it was so great to see so many of our community there getting hands-on with some of the technology and finding out more about some of the services that can support those living with sight loss, including our community that are living with progressive sight loss. So I have got a plethora of brochures and leaflets in front of me from some of the stalls that we had a little look at and a chance to play with some of the technology. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to delve right in some of the main companies that were there. And just to give an overview of a couple of some of the devices that you may find useful. All of the website information will be for these companies will be in the follow-up email. We also, for one of them, we do have a discount code which we will share that will be valid for 30 days. Just in case you wanted to take advantage of some of their products. So I'm going to get straight into it. So the first one that many of you know of is Sight and Sound. They have been guests in recent months. They did do an overview of the WeWalk 2 Smart Cane back in July for our Talking Travel peer support group. If anybody hasn't listened to that, we will share that in the follow-up email as well. We had Graham from Sight and Sound talk about the new WeWalk 2 cane. We did get a little bit of information from them. It was supposed to be launched towards the end of October, but they have pushed that launch date back to the end of January now. So if you have pre-ordered a WeWalk 2 Smart Cane, and you would like to know a little bit more, then we can send you the Sight and Sound email address should you want to contact them directly to find out, how you can get one, and also the rates if you wanted to get one pre-ordered, which I think you can still do. So that is the WeWalk 2 cane, which is a smart GPS navigational cane that comes in 3 different sizes. And if you are quite tall, there you can unscrew it from the cane it comes with, and you can attach it to your own cane so you can still use it. It pairs with your smartphone, and it can help guide you through obstacles. It's got obstacle detection. But what I will do, I won't go into that one too much detail because Graham did a much better device back in July. So that was one of the devices that Sight and Sound had. They have their magnifiers. They have the screen reading software as well, which they'll demonstrate in either JAWS or Supernova. But one of the devices that really did grab my attention on their stall, they are actually working with a company called Biped, who have released a device called NOAA, which stands for Navigation, Obstacle, and artificial intelligence. And it's a vest that you would wear over the shoulders, or a harness, and it's used in conjunction with either your guide dog or your white cane. I got to try this device on, and it has on the left side, if you can imagine, a bib that goes round your shoulders and over both sides of your chest. It's got three cameras on one side, which is the left side. One faces forward and two face out to the side. And then on the other side, you've got all of your controls. There is a quick button that you can press twice, and it will do a snapshot of your environment. And if everybody or if, has used Be My AI, it works in a very, very similar way to that. It will take a snapshot and it will then read out what is in front of you. And I was actually quite impressed with that. It has got quite a peripheral vision on it. So it was saying, you know, to the left, there was stands and stools. It even read, you know, where the toilets were, the signs on the toilets. And then obviously it read out what was in front of me, and then it read out what was on the right of me as well, which I thought that was actually quite good. Some other features that will be coming out very soon for this device are also screen reading, so it can actually read out text in front of you. And it will also have map navigation as well, which I presume will be very similar to the Smart Cane. So that was a nice piece of equipment. And we do have a video of someone using that, which we will send in the follow-up email that we found on YouTube. So we will share that so you can actually have a listen to that device in someone using it. So that was actually quite a good one. I've been looking forward to having a play of that device. So we haven't actually got a brochure for Sight and Sound, but what I'm going to do is see whether I can get a PDF of their latest brochure to attach to the follow-up email. So if anyone is using screen readers or has a magnifier, you know, they can print it out and either do it under a magnifier, or you can just listen to some of the cool tech that they've actually got. So that was Sight and Sound, and Biped, who are actually working with Sight and Sound. The other company that I was actually quite impressed with is a company called Synaptic. If not, people have actually heard of this software. They had a very, very impressive brochure. And again, I'm going to see whether I can get that in PDF format. We will provide their contact telephone number, email address, and website. And we will look to see whether we can get some sort of downloadable brochure. But Synaptic is a overlay UI that they have on Samsung smartphones. So they use Android, and they use either the flagship S23 Ultra, and they have their software over it. It's large text, high contrast, and very manipulative to your needs. They can actually have a consultancy a chat with you to set it up. They also have their software on some of their large tablets as well, which is the Samsung Tab S9, wasn't it, Ultra, which is over 14 inches, which is quite an impressive tablet in itself. And then they have that you can get bundles on their with their software on it for some of the more budget A series Samsung phones as well. And this was the company that's actually got a £35 off voucher code, which we'll include in the follow-up email should anybody like to purchase a new smartphone with the Synaptic software on it. And they quite a nice range of other products, including Bluetooth keyboards as well. And I like them because they were pretty neat. They were pretty tidy. You can put them in a laptop bag, and they were either in high contrast format with large print. I think it was black with white keys. There was a yellow keys as well, and then you've got your standard keyboard, which was white with large black text as well. I thought they were quite nice, and they actually connected via Bluetooth, you know, and they were quite light as well, you know, quite robust. So I thought that was a nice little piece of an addition to smart tech if you're still using a keyboard. So that was Synaptic. And next, a fan favorite, Cobalt Systems. We was reviewing and chatting about some of their technology at the August Talking Tech peer group when we were chatting all about smart tech for the kitchen. Well, I got hands on. We all know about the Cobalt air fryer. Well, they've released a dual air fryer now with two drawers in it, which is sort of an upgrade to the single drawer, which they released this time last year. I think it was around £100. They brought out another one now that's got two drawers in it, which is £159.95, I think. And also they have got a new microwave. We mentioned about the standard microwave in that meeting, but there's another one. It is quite expensive. It's around £300, but it's a convection microwave as well as grill and microwave oven. So, you know, you've got quite a few different options. It's not just microwaving your food, it can actually grill it, or you can oven bake stuff in it as well. So, and that was nice as well. You know, it had nice big buttons on it. It all spoke to you as well. So both of those devices are fully audible to help you with your cooking. We also had a quick look at, they didn't actually have one on display, but someone was chatting about the twin and single convection hobs as well. Or is it it was a convection single hob?
Induction.
The induction hob, yeah. So it's an induction hob and also the standard twin electric hob as well. You know, they were talking about. And what other bits and pieces did we have from Cobalt? They actually had a few other bits and pieces, which I was actually surprised at. So, healthcare products, they've got the bathroom scales, which are fully audible, but we also noticed that they do a talking blood pressure monitor as well, which was, they didn't have this one to display, but we were just flicking through their brochure. They also had a talking head and ear thermometer. So a couple of healthcare products, you know, if people you know, would like to get on them. Talking oven thermometer as well, the kitchen scales, level jug, talking jug as well. They've got a USB players. Oh, and this is another thing for the DIYers out there. I've mentioned before about talking tape measures. Well, they actually do their own one. I believe it's just a talking tape measure, and it's not like the Tape King from CareTech that's got the additional spirit level built into it as well. But if anybody does like their DIY or you do a lot of measuring, they do have a talking tape measure as well. So they've got quite an array of different talking technology. And I definitely want to see whether I can get a PDF copy of this brochure because it just has lots and lots of stuff in it. They only had a few items on display. That's why we thought we'll grab a brochure and kind of flick through that quickly. What else was available. So that was kind of some of the highlights from Cobalt Systems. Again, I will pass over their website address, telephone number, and also info email address as well, just if you have any queries about other tech that they might do. So that was the other brochure. So what was the next one, Caroline?
The rest was mainly magnifiers.
So many of the others were so we picked up a brochure from Optilec and Enhanced Vision that do the Merlin. They do the Merlin handheld. Also they do it's the Amigo handheld, and then they do the Merlin actual desktop screen CCTV magnifiers as well. But many of the others were just very, very similar. They had lots of the handheld magnifiers, lots of the desktop CCTVs from 24 inches, some with audible voice back features. And
Orcam.
they've got the Orcam Read 3, and also the
My Eye Smart,
My Eye Smart,
and then the Pro one, My Eye Pro.
the My Eye Pro, I believe that's the one that goes over a glasses frame, side of your glasses, to help read your shopping, and anything that you want it to read via voice commands. There wasn't actually that many Orcams there that I actually looked at. I think some of them might have been packed up by the time we actually looked around. The other big piece of tech that we were seeing being wandering around with is a new piece of technology by a company called Glidance. It looks very, very impressive. It's, again, I believe it's a tool that you can use in junction with your cane, but it's a wheeled walking device called Glide, which will steer you in the direction that you need to go. Unfortunately, we missed the seminar on this device, which they were talking about a little bit about it. It's not out for another year yet, but the queue for people to trial it was pretty long. And if anyone's joined us this evening that did attend, that did get to have a go of Glide, I would be really interested in what you thought of it. They are, I couldn't find a price as of yet, but it is apparently waterproof, so you can actually use it out in the rain to some extent. You can't submerge it, but you know it is, obviously being so close to the ground, you can actually use it out in wet weather. And because it's got wheels, I was informed that I believe the wheels can be replaced and removed depending on your terrain, you know, so whether you are going over bumpy terrain or whether you're on flat terrain, it depends on what kind of tyres you have on it to raise it from the ground, you know, or have it as low to the ground if you're going around a shopping centre, for example. This was actually quite good, and we do have a promotional video that we found on YouTube for that, which we will share, by the CEO who is living with retinitis pigmentosa, which is a coincidence as well. So I will share that one over with you. And anything that we share in the follow-up, if anyone's got any feedback or any follow-up questions, you know, or you'd like to give your own comments or views or reviews, then please feel free to reply back to the follow-up email. It'll be most grateful if you could do that. And there was, it's not exactly technology, but there were other few. We had Vision Aid there as well, who are a London-based charity. I think they're a charity. They actually offer all sorts of support and college classes. They had an array of different tech which they can actually help you with, and
they were the ones that had lighting solutions.
They had different lights, lamps, low vision solutions, and I think they are actually London based. So if anyone does live in London and they want to have a wander round to Vision Aid to see what they do, we'll also include their address as well, as well as their email address, their website, phone number. Did they also have glasses? I think they did have.
There was a couple of companies that had sunglasses, different types of sunglasses and different coloured lenses.
So we often get questions regarding low vision glasses for those that are living with progressive sight loss. For me personally, I like the red lens. I find that actually does support the reduction of glare and light sensitivity. And there was one company that had, they didn't have any more catalogues left, but they were flicking through, and what was unique about their catalogue was they were identifying all the different conditions, from cataract, glaucoma to AMD to, you know, retinitis pigmentosa, etc., and what lens would be beneficial for you. So if anybody is looking for new glasses or new sunglasses for the days where it's extremely bright. I know November we can have some extremely bright mornings, and also for next summer, this would be a really cool company to check out. And they are a lot cheaper than your blue blockers and your Oakleys. But at the end of the day, a lot of the reviews and everything that I'm talking about is all impartial. And we don't get any royalties or anything for anything that we share. It's literally for our community to make their own decisions, judgments about where to go to get products that can actually support you living with progressive sight loss.
That one was Optima Low Vision Services.
Optima Low Vision Services.
We've got their website.
And we've got their website and telephone number. And you can have a look at what I did actually try some of their sunglasses on, and some of them are actually quite comfortable. Some were not so comfortable or stylish. It depends whether you do like a stylish pair of sunglasses or you just want something that says what it does on the tin. They're different frames to suit every individual. So that was some of
that one was just the other, that VI safety, the bits and pieces.
So there is another a company that we did find, and I actually found some of their gadgets and gizmos quite impressive. It's called VI Safety. I'm not going to launch into too much with them because I thought I might invite them to come on one of our peer groups in the new year to talk in a little bit more detail about what they do and why they set up VI Safety, because it wasn't just torches. They had all sorts of other cool technology to support the VI community getting around safely throughout the seasons, especially the winter months. As we know, night blindness is a factor for us. So making ourselves seen as well as being able to navigate in the dark as well. So I didn't want to go into too much detail, but if anyone wants to check out VI Safety, I will put their website in, but I'm hoping to have a chat with the owner to see whether they would like to come on and do a little bit more of a chat about some of the head torches and other light up gadgets that they had. The whole table was littered with all sorts of different tech, but I just wanted them to maybe come on and do a bit of a hands-on with us all in January. So I'm just going to hold fire on sharing too much information on that one, but like I say, I'll still give you the website so you can check it out if you like.
Scott's got his hand up.
Oh, go on in, Scott. What's that, buddy? You're muted, Scott. Okay. I believe that was a quick, very, very fast rundown to some
Caroline threw me into. I was just about to hit the unmute button, and the host would like you to unmute, so it moved my unmute and stay muted up to the middle of the screen. She's too quick.
Did you have a question, Scott?
More a comment on the guidance, if you want me to add a few points.
Did you add a few?
I had a partial go. It was not working, but I talked to Luke, who is a Canadian fellow out of Toronto. So we had a sort of rapport going. I did try it. He didn't have the powered unit. It was down at the seminar, which I scooted down to. It does weigh about 6.5 pounds, which was a concern for me. It will identify stairs up and down. It will have the option to even count the stairs for you, which is nice. Although you still want to trust your own ability and use your own steps. You wouldn't use a cane with it, Mark. It's a self. It's going to be in front of you, and I'm right-handed. You wouldn't have any room to use the cane. So it would be by itself, kind of not centered, but where I'd hold my cane, I should hold it in front of me. I always hold mine a bit right and do a further sweep to the left. It does have a solid pink bar. They say it's sexy at the bottom of it to protect the it's probably about 8 inches wide, maybe a bit wider. The wheels are 7 inches high.
Oh.
Does not, and he said I'd be a good tester, has not been tested in the snow yet. So as you said, it is rain resistant. You wouldn't want to dunk it in the Thames for very long because it will short it out. It has a bright ring around the body, which makes it very visible both in daylight tubes and at night. I forget what he called the lights that are around it's a ring right around the body. It's not very high off the ground. 7 inches is the wheel diameter. They are a rubberized sort of tire.
So can I ask what it is? I don't really understand what it is.
It is basically a robot that'll walk. It's like a guide dog.
Okay.
They have guide dogs now that are robots, believe it or not, which are perfect for me because I don't have to pick up after them, or feed them. But it kind of takes away from the furry itch under the chin, so to speak. Anyway, it's GPS guided, but not GPS in that. Sorry, it's not GPS. It does have GPS on it, so you can program it to walk, say, to my chemist, and it'll turn you in the right direction when you get to the right street. It'll indicate all obstacles in front of you. Because it's so low, the difference between that and the WeWalk cane, which in Canada we have fire hydrants. So if my cane doesn't catch them or the WeWalk doesn't catch that low 3 foot and under, I'm going to wreck my shins, which I've done.
Yeah.
My cane has missed it. In the demonstration, Mark's got a video of it. It's a pretty neat thing. The only thing I don't like, well, of course, there's a cost. I think they said £1,500, but all this tech is going to be a bit expensive. So,
Correct.
If you get to stairs and there's no ramp, you're going to have to carry it. You're going to find a railing. It will tell you railing left or right or both. It really does speak out. They're adding features to it all the time. The reason they're not launching it yet for another year is they want to make sure that it is, perfectly safe. It seems they've got a ton of people signed up to buy it. But like all these instruments, this one seems to really not be ahead, but seems to be one of the better ones out in the market. I'm just not sure if it's for me because of the weight of it. If I'm walking to the chemist and back, great. There's a ramp there. 6.5 pounds I can lift. I just don't want to be, carrying it around downtown. They have tried it in the tubes and stations, and it's US built. The body is made in China, the software in Taiwan, or Thailand. I don't know what else I can tell you, but I haven't tried it. I only tried it walking with him beside me, telling me what it would be telling me. But a lot of people have. And if you watch the video, it gives you a pretty good idea of what it is.
Thanks, Scott. Just a couple of things to just add. One, something else to add additionally to the cost of the unit. I'm not sure when I spoke to Graham, who did catch the seminar, he said it was either £1,500 or $1,500, but on top of the sale price of the unit, there is an additional either £30 or $30 a month to keep your subscriptions active.
Yes.
So you can carry on using the navigate. I presume it's got its own navigational software that will help you, which links to the machine to help guide you.
Yeah.
To be.
I don't know if it was good maps or he did tell me, but I took in a lot that day. So there is built in, yeah. And you can, like you say, you can program it, which is you can program a lot of the navigational tools now, which is nice. But it's just that feature that is nice. It'll walk you to it. But the difference is where I walk to my chemist, there's sandwich boards. They move them. So when I learned to walk there with my Rovi, they were in the same spot. But 2 weeks later, I went and they had moved them, or someone had moved them. So my cane caught them. It just, that's not where that's supposed to be. So, because that was one of my markers to turn. So it'll read signs and all that other bonus stuff. But like I said, I would wait on it for me because if I go back home to Ottawa in Canada, we get snow and they have not tested it in snow yet. So
Maybe you can get chains for it.
well, change it. I was going to ask at the seminar, skis and a track, just like a snowmobile, but
of it. That would
yeah,
be tracks.
yeah, or like a float plane. You got the wheels and the floats, so or the skis.
It's quite hard to describe. It kind of reminds me of one of those old rollers that you used to get as a child that's got the big red wheels. Fisher Price used to do, and used to roll it along and it used to jingle or it used to make a noise. Kind of like a
Yeah.
What do you mean? Little telephone things.
Yeah, it used to push it in front of you. So it's got two.
It was a ball of marbles.
Oh,
and
no.
Yeah, that's it.
Scott, they could motorize it for you and you could just sit on it.
Yeah.
Well,
It sounds like a 1970s carpet sweeper.
yeah, well, it's
Or
a
an
bit
or an old-
more streamlined than that. It's almost the size of a volleyball, I guess. It's more rounded, and it has that ring around it with the lights, and the wheels are as tall as the unit pretty much. And then there's that vibrant pink bar at the front that they said we wanted it to be very visible, so we had the lights because we've heard from the visually impaired and blind communities that in busy spots, people with canes and even canes with light, people just sort of ignore them. They're not sure if it's a toy or what it is. Whereas this, it's on. So it'll be interesting to see how someone who does use it down in the tubes or in a busy shopping mall, what happens.
It looks very impressive,
Yeah.
some of the ones, that either can direct you in it will tell you, if you need to get to the shops, you've got to go down this street, then you've got to turn left, then you've got to make the judgment of when to turn left. But this device will actually steer you around the corner. It's obviously, and it's kind of it is the closest representation to a robotic guide dog because you are holding on to the handle and you are being led by this device. So it is one of the more the ones I've seen, very, very impressive, in terms of wearables and navigational tools and stuff like that. So it's definitely going to be a contender. I think they did actually have a demonstration booth at CES, the Consumer Electronics Show in Vegas this year, in this January. So it will be very interesting to see whether they're there next year doing more demonstrations. But
the other thing, Mark, they did say, which I've forgotten, which Luke said to me, and at the seminar they said it again. If you're in a queue, will it keep pace or follow? And it will. If you're going too fast, it's got a kind of brake on it, so it'll slow you down. If the person takes off on you, it's going to allow you to follow at distance. So it'll keep pace with the person if you're following a person walking in a queue or a lineup for shopping. Someone said jokingly, "Will it bring me right to the front of the queue?" That would be nice, but I don't think that's what it is meant to do. So, it does have a lot of extras on it. You shouldn't be bumping into people, and which is nice because I typically, if I'm in a queue by myself, I'm always slashing someone's legs. Not hard, but you're bumping into them. So
No, nice. It was a nice bit of tech. Does anybody else have kind of any questions in regards to some of the tech? Have we got any hands up?
I've got Rama. She asked about the Synaptic, asking if it's not on iOS. I don't
No,
think it was,
Rama, I asked that question myself, and we flicked through the catalogue, and all we could see are Android devices. And I believe it's because what they do is they remove the Samsung user interface and they replace it with Synaptic. Now, I don't know whether Apple devices are that easy to remove the software, the iOS, and replace it with a third party. But it's a good question, and we can always find out, or we can provide an email address so you could ask that very question. I think it's probably some of the wearables I've seen all base their devices around Android and Samsung smartphones because of that reason. It's because they're more manipulative when it comes to installing third-party accessibility software. I could be wrong, but we could ask Synaptic that question: can it be applied to an iPhone?
One of the things.
Can I answer that?
Go on then. Sorry. Yeah.
You can't actually put Synaptic on an iPhone. No. The group that I'm involved with, a technical group, and there's quite a lot of Synaptic users in that group, but I have an iPhone, and I'm told by the people that it's not possible to. I mean, I'm quite happy to use the iPhone anyway, but they say that it's not. It's just not compatible with iPhones. I don't know whether it's because it's generally regarded as a very simple method, Synaptic. It's quite basic, really. It's very, very useful, but it is quite basic. And it's just used on Android platforms, not on iOS.
No, I actually find a lot of the accessibility features on the iPhone. For work, I use the iPhone 13 Pro, and I actually find a lot of the accessibility features, really good. And Siri, and the speed content, etc. I find that quite good. I wouldn't necessarily want to change the software on the iPhone, to be honest. And it's just getting better now with the iPhone 16 Pro and Ultra, the 16 series. They've now introduced Apple AI, which is something that I will be looking into in future months to see what that's all about and how it compares with the likes of Google AI and also Galaxy AI as well. We're seeing a lot more AI-driven devices, features, software. And it's just going to get better and better, to help us see and navigate just by audible guidance and descriptive tech. So,
Harry's got his hand up.
Harry, you got your hand up.
Good evening. Talking of iOS, I was going to ask if anybody in the community or the group had upgraded to iOS 17.7, which I've seen appear. Thank you for lowering my hand, Caroline. Appear on my telephone, and I was about to do the upgrade, and I suddenly thought, "Ooh, sometimes it's best to wait a little while."
Yeah.
If everyone's jumped. I haven't actually seen an update for mine yet. It usually pops up saying that I've actually got an update due.
Well, have a look in your in the software in the go to general and updates, and I just happened to look in there and it said there is a new one available. Like I was surprised. But Scott's normally on top of these things. What's the verdict?
18.1. I downloaded it this week.
Oh,
I thought you said that was only available in the USA.
Ah, I found a workaround.
No, leave that aside. Leave that aside. Any glitches with 17.7? Those of us that are not into your.
I always find there are glitches, Harry, but that's a while ago. 18 has been out since September. I know that's not that long ago. 17.7 was in the summer, and I'm sure if you'll read it, it's more a security patch. I think that was a security. I can go back and read about it, but I think
no, don't waste your time. I'll do it.
Well,
I'll install it tonight. End of.
Well, I think I've got 17.7, and the only thing I say the only thing. I mean, there's lots of things I don't use, but Notes is driving me up the pole.
The what? The what is?
The Notes app.
Yeah. Well, they can I speak to that? Mark? Yeah. The Notes, I've just been taking courses on it, and the Notes is once you get the handle of it, and I was going to suggest it to Mark if he has an iPhone. His pamphlet, actually, there is a built-in scanner in the Notes, and you can scan it and then change it into a PDF format. And I think that's what you're looking for in the pamphlet. I don't know how much is in how many pages you'd have to, but it is a learning process with the Notes. We don't have time tonight, but if Mark wants to put
maybe you should run a seminar on it.
Scott, I'm still
Why
learning
can't
too.
they leave things alone?
Because they want bigger and better. And
I don't.
I'm cursing. I've got a 15 Pro, and I'm cursing it. I'm trying to get rid of it. So I've got a dud of a phone, but that's mine. I've had a screen replaced. Anyway,
get yourself an iPad instead, Scott.
Too much space on it. I can't see. I don't need that much. So that's why I don't have the Max. I get lost on the Max. Mark, the new AI is only available for 15 Pro, Pro Max, and the 16 series. You can use a lot of the iOS 18 for you people that are an 18.1. There's some great new features out on it. Too many for me to talk about tonight. AI being one, if you have the right package. The thing I'm looking for, and Harry and Mark would laugh at me for saying this, is the concise notes. When I write a note, it's probably a page long. You're now able to press the button and it'll knock your thing into a couple sentences. I'm looking forward to using that, and there's a lot of features like that which will work in your notes and mail.
Is there a wearable you could try that will do the same for you when you talk?
Shut up, Harry. Caroline, can you mute him? Or give me host powers? As for the notes, though, if Mark wants to, you can give me a call or email me, and I can help you a bit. There is a lot there, but once you learn how to use it, it becomes a lot easier. So I've just learned it myself, to be honest with you. I wasn't using it, so now I know I can. So
Rama's just actually said she'd like to learn all these things on the iPhone. So
yeah. Well, what I'll do is I've got and it actually proved quite popular at Site Village. I was chatting to a few people that want to get hands-on with their smartphones, and I think it was last Christmas. I did it for work. So if we get any inquiries come through the office where people are struggling to turn things on or off, I put together a Samsung walkthrough guide and also an iPhone walkthrough guide, and I based it on mine. Now, it was last year, and since I did it, we've got a couple of new iPhones that have come out. but I can still send it to everyone in the follow-up. It's a Word document. You'll be able to use it using Speak Screen or you know, a screen reader. It's only a Word document, and it just has an overview of some of the features accessibility wise in terms of turning Siri on and off, and you know, the talking keyboard and things that people may not know the phone, what you can do with it. And if anyone has any additions that they want to add to it, please just let me know. You know, it's like, oh, did you know that you know, you forgot this, or you can also do that. I would always like to keep this document up to date. You know, it's over almost a year old now, so there's probably things that I've missed, you know, that you can now do with, say, the Samsung S24, which I only found out that it's actually got a color checker on it, which you can use via Bixby. So if anyone's got the S24 and you've got Bixby activated, you can just point it at something and say, Bixby, what color is this? And it will tell you. And I found that by complete and utter accident, you know. Just
how good is it, Mark?
Really good. I did it on our dog's food bowls. One's got a teal food bowl, and the other one's got like a cerise pink. And I didn't have the lights on or anything like that, and you know, they have to have different food. So I flipped them upside down, and I was just expecting pinky red and greenish blue, but it actually said magenta and cyan.
Okay,
and I'm like, wow, that's pretty. You can't get more accurate than
well,
that.
no,
You know?
but that's confusing for most of them.
Yeah.
No.
But if you're familiar with your color, like obviously I know.
No, I am familiar.
Yeah, so you know, it's like, oh, you know, that was, is that too clever? You know, some people are just expecting reddish pink or bluish green, but when it actually come out of that, I thought that was actually quite impressive, you know. And it come out, I was doing something the other day, and it actually come out like slate grey. I thought, oh my God, it's turning into a Dulux color chart now.
Well, yeah, exactly. So
But
yeah,
it
because
was,
the iPhone seeing AI, not Be My Eye, seeing AI actually has the color, but I haven't used it in a while and you have to make sure you're in the same lighting for shirts and stuff like that, because if you're not, it's going to, you know, if you're in the sunlight and then you go into a darker area, it will sort of change the, you know, from dark gray to charcoal gray to, I mean, that's all I'm not that fussed about it, but
I don't bother with that. I just have to. Can I just ask something? Was there much computer-based stuff in this site village, or was it just mainly screen readers, or
in terms of
laptops, or you know?
No, there was more tablets. It was more smart devices, your phones, your large tablets. I didn't really see any laptops or anything like that were open that would have like JAWS or any new software on it. That's one thing. Maybe that's the way technology's going. Dolphin were there. No, Dolphin that makes Supernova were there.
Yeah.
Whether they were
just used to be with them.
Could I ask a different question?
Go on then. Sorry, Harry, you did have your hand up. Sorry,
no, that's all right. Let me take it down. The completely random, but what I'm looking for, I've joined a sighted group who use Google Drive. I'm a JAWS user, and I'm finding it actually quite a struggle. And I wondered if you had any suggestions as to where I might turn to for help. I have found a list of keyboard shortcuts within Google Drive. That's a starter for 10. But what I'm really trying to find is, well, probably the easy answer would be either somebody who is visually impaired and is using Google Drive, who would be, you know, happy to have a chat with me on the phone. I don't think it'd take a lot. It's just to get some user support, if you like.
Is that Google Drive through a smart device, or is that Google Drive through your PC?
Either or both.
Because I thought if you're using either like the Google Pixel, or you're using
I've got it on my iPhone, but you know, it's far easier to create and edit on a laptop. I think you'd agree.
I personally have never used Google Drive.
No, I've not. Many of them. I've not come across many in the sight loss sector. You know, I spent something like 20 years at RNIB, an Action for Blind People.
Yeah.
No, it's just one thing that this group have adopted, and I can understand the logic. It's free and it's cheap, or free and whatever else, and it stores all their files, and you can. You know, it has advantages for some, but I'm like late to the party. I might not have suggested it had I been one of the founder members, but that's a different conversation.
Yeah. Well, you know, I can do a little bit of checking out to see if there is. I'm surprised that JAWS is not very compatible with it. To be quite honest, you would think.
Well, I did try looking at the Freedom Scientific webinar, and I wasn't blown away by it. Put it that way. But maybe I should review it and try again.
Have you tried? I don't even think Google have got their own assistive sort of voiceover. Whether narrator or NVDA might work better with it rather than using something like JAWS or Supernova. Maybe going back to something a little bit simpler and also free as well.
Well, the cost doesn't worry me because I'm a JAWS user, so I'm quite happy, you know, keeping my license up to date. No, it's using it with power tips on, you know, how do you find the search bar, what do you plug in, you know, how do you get to the search function. Anyway, that's fine. If you came across anyone who turns out to be a Google Drive user, I would be very keen to have a conversation.
Yeah, no, okay. I'll do some digging.
It's all about navigating. It's all about navigation. Have you looked in your JAWS? I don't know, is this when you're using Google Drive? You want to know the shortcut? I don't know.
Yeah, but it has a keystroke that brings up all the keystrokes, which I found. It's just not quite as intuitive as I'd like to think it should be or could be. No, and through Be My Eyes, I've even reached out to Google themselves.
Yeah,
and even they struggled. I ended up talking to some guy in the Philippines. Anyway, I don't want to monopolize the conversation, so I just
no worries. No, it's a good question because it's, you know, if there are Google products out there that are not accessible, then Google needs to know that they need to make them a little bit more intuitive.
A little bit better.
Yeah. No, I totally get that. It is coming up 8 o'clock. You know, I hope it's just gone 8 o'clock. I hope everyone's enjoyed my brief rundown of, and also thanks to everybody that has chipped in with their own thoughts about some of the tech that was at Site Village. We will keep everyone up to date as soon as we get dates and locations for Site Villages next year. We will always have a stand, so please come and say hello to a member of the team from Retina UK. And I would always advise, you know, if you've got any road shows that are coming on near you, where they are, whether it's just through your local sight loss organisation or whether it's free, if you are London based, whether it be through Vision Aid or, you know, anywhere that is having tech to get hands on with, I always recommend to go and have a play. And even as far as if you're looking for a new mobile phone, get yourself down to your high street electrical store, your John Lewis's, your Curry's, your Onyx, you know, and just literally just get hands on with them. It is the best way to find out whether it is the right tech for you. And so you know obviously you don't make the wrong decision, and it does you know, all the things that you want it to do. So I really do thank everyone for attending this evening. I hope you found it enjoyable. Have we got any final questions before I do a quick update from Retina UK?
Rama's just put in.
I just wanted to say, Mark.
Yep.
Oh, sorry.
That's okay.
I was just wanting to say, just a final thing about Glidance.
Yep.
There is a website about it. I can't remember if it's glidance.co.uk or glidance.org.uk. I would imagine it's org.uk actually, because of you know, it is being developed in America. And it's GLIDANCE. It's not got an E in the middle.
Yeah.
So glidance.org.uk, I think it is. Because I do know a couple of people who are very interested in it and have been following its development.
Brilliant.
So that's on that website. It does. I'm personally not been following it, but I do know it tells you what's going on about it and how it is developing. So if anybody is interested in that side of it, it's a useful source of information.
Brilliant.
And they very much want your input too.
Yeah.
If you look at it or have heard about it or have tried it or, you know, like for me, I want it to be able to move in the snow.
Yeah.
Not here so much, but at home in Canada. We don't go out. If it's 3 feet of snow, we wait till it gets plowed. But if there's only a few inches, I want it to be able to work. So they do say they've implemented, and that's why they're waiting. They've changed the model 4 times. It was a much bigger unit. It's down to what it is. You know, so yeah. And I if you put Glidance navigational on Google, it'll probably bring up the website as well.
Yeah. We have got the video that kind of gives a great overview of that, and I believe it's the CEO that starts talking a little bit about it, you know, and but any further updates that we get, or if anyone else has any new information moving into the new year about this piece of smart tech, then please do let us know. Has anyone, before I just quickly give a bit of an update from Retina UK, is there any final questions?
Rama's
got.
Yeah, she's put in the chat for us that her nephew in the US actually works for Google, and if you describe what you want help with, she'll see if he can help.
Okay.
Maybe
that's for Harry.
Email over and forward it on.
I don't think I've got enough A4 sheets of paper, to be quite honest, to the amount of things that I need Google to change. They keep doing things. They've changed the voice on the assistant and on the phone, and it's just of all the voices, it's not very depressing. It's just it's very depressing. It's like someone's just had a long hard day at work, and it's like, I really can't be bothered to answer your message.
I'm jumping on my question and answers at 9:30 out of the US on the new AI, Apple AI, and it does not work anywhere outside of the US. It'll tell you that, but the workaround is you go down and put American English in the not in the voice, because I mistakenly did it in the voice. It's in the language. So American English in the language. And then you have to go up to the top right, click on the waiting list.
Yeah.
The wait list is 2 seconds to 2 hours. Mine was 10 minutes. And I'm all set. I'm in level 1 now. I'm going to try some features out with it. So Seeing AI, Mark, I'll send you all this stuff.
Brilliant.
They've got a lighthouse for the blind coming up. You're going to be able to watch videos screen by screen. So it'll break it down to you, because everyone sends me these reels with music. I don't know what's going on. So I'll now be able to break it down. That's on the 21st. I'll send the link to that.
Awesome. Anything you can get, you know, things like, you get a lot of those music reels that are things that are going on, and you don't know what's going on. It's just got music behind it. It would be nice to have a bit more of an audio description. So anything like that would be brilliant. And thanks to Rama. You know, if anyone's got any Google questions, please forward them over to me, and I will get in touch with Rama, and maybe we'll bombard our nephew with some Google queries. But thanks everyone. Just a couple of things. We've been talking a lot about other products that are available, smart tech. I just want to give a few bits and pieces that are new in our shop at Retina UK. Please visit our website, www.retinauk.org.uk. I think it's /shop. You can now get your Christmas cards from Retina UK. The artwork is by those living with our conditions. So please show your support to Retina UK and local artists that have given up their time to help produce our Christmas cards. They're now available. We also have personalised Christmas tree baubles. mugs in both white and navy blue with the Retina UK logo on it. And also for those, I'm actually wearing a very stylish navy blue baseball cap with embroidered Retina UK on it, which also are available to purchase on our shop, amongst other bits and pieces as well. So please, if you've got time to check out our shop, anytime, you can call the office on 01280 821 334. Speak to our fundraising team regarding any of our shop products, or if you'd like any further information. If anyone is around on Saturday the 16th from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m, the London Peer Support Group are inviting a chap called Devinder, who is setting up his new tech consultancy company called Personalize, and he's going to be sharing why he set it up and how his services can support those that are living with visual impairments with all their accessibility and their tech needs. So definitely check that out. It's now available to register for on our website. If you want to go to our Retina UK events page and find the London Peer Support Group, you can register for that now. Also, if you are London based, you can also register for the audio described and touch tour performance of the Snowman as well, which is going to be their winter pantomime get together. So any other queries, please send your inquiries over to info@retinauk.org.uk, or just reply to the follow-up email, and I will be able to pick that up as well. You know, any queries, please do let me know. But thank you so much to you all for your support and your tips, hints, and information. Thanks to Caroline me with the comms and helping read out questions and put hands up and down. Thanks very much to Caroline, and to everyone. Have a wonderful evening, and I'll catch up with you all in January for the next Talking Tech Peer Support Group. I'm Mark Baxter, and I'll catch up with you soon. Take it easy, everyone.
Thank you, Mark.
Hey, thanks.
Bye-bye.
Thank
Bye.
Thank you, Mark. Thank you, Caroline.
You're welcome. See you later.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
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 We hope you've enjoyed this Retina UK peer group recording. If you have any questions or queries regarding its content, or you would like to leave us some feedback, then please do get in touch. You can contact us via our helpline on 0300 111 4000, call the office team on 01280 821 334, or alternatively, you can contact us via email at services@retinauk.org.uk. If you are interested in creating your own peer support group and assisting Retina UK to grow our peer support group network and join our amazing team of volunteers, then please do get in touch by contacting us at info@retinauk.org.uk and speak to a member of staff to see how you can get involved. Thanks again for listening, and please stay tuned for more peer support group recordings coming throughout this year. Take care and all the best. Bye for now.